Greetings, greetings. We have a sickness in America that needs to be cured. Greeting once again. This is the Reverend Dr. Claude A. Sinclair, attorney at law. I'm going to put my attorney hat on today, and we're going to talk about racism in America. Racism in America, and what we can do to resolve this issue. It's time for us to step up our game. All right, I prepared some notes here, and I put the picture there so it can deflect you from focusing on me. Why aren't you looking at me directly? Where are you looking at? And all that kind of stuff, right? So the whole objective, you go to YouTube. On YouTube, I got about 50 videos or so. I thought I had a lot more than that. I got to check out what's going on. But those 50 videos, like a hospital. It's part of the Temple of Inner Peace and Prosperity. They help you to get, your mind right. It's to get there and get focused, to get on the same page. We know everybody's different. There's no, one of the problems I heard a while ago was a sister being interviewed. All black people aren't the same. We don't think the same. We're all different people. That may be true, but we should have the same purpose, the same vision, is to recognize our true potential, and not for those who may be married out of their race or may have a better existence than others. It's not time to show indifference and hatred. We try to resolve the issue. No matter who you can point the finger at, everyone should be able to live in this country in peace and harmony with one another in order to seek the ideals therein, which is being able to seek the American dream without someone having their knee on their neck, right? So this is Real Talk on Prosperity Radio, a Four Winds production sponsored by the Boardwalk School of Economics. All right, so I created an outline here, the state of America, the state of racism in America. We're going to talk about education, the news, latest news, solutions. We don't state an opportunity without a solution. And we're going to talk politics, and we're going to talk business. And this whole program is designed to get you to go to the website at boardwalklifeplan.com and powerthroughunity.org. I created a University in the Home program that will allow us to pull ourselves up. No matter where you are in life, poor, rich, felon, non-felon, down on their luck, trying to find their way, just getting into a relationship, want to enter into a power relationship, help your spiritual nature. This program is designed to help you to do that. Just give it a shot. Our attention span is not that great, but we have to learn to increase our attention span. All right? So let's start off with the state of racism in America. I don't want this to be too long, so I'm going to probably pick up the pace, and I've written down my thoughts, so I won't deviate too much from that. Okay? All right. So like I said, I have the 50 videos there or so. It's designed to talk to you a little bit. Let's get on one accord and then make your way to the program. It's very inexpensive, and you'll be surprised what you learn. And one of the biggest problems in our community is that we are failing to pass on wealth to the next generation. We're failing to start businesses that are successful. And we need to diversify our economic base. We need to have scientists, engineers, doctors, lawyers, dealing with intellectual, that artificial intelligence, all of that. We want to enjoy the best of America, and we need to make sure that our children are being prepared to fulfill. There are a lot of jobs and opportunities that are available in America. We have to knock down the door, but first of all, we have to be prepared for that. This country brings, through these visa programs, we're going to do another talk on that later, where they bring people from other countries to fill these positions because they do not want to develop their own individuals, their own citizens. which is another form of racism. So we're going to chip away at this. We're going to show, from an emotional standpoint, we're dealing with emotion right now. With the violence that's going on right now as a result of these that we're going to go through. Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Christian Cooper, George Floyd, which is just the tip of the iceberg. It's not even a tip. It's something that goes on continuously. So let's go through this, and what I want to do is to create a format for discussion, and hopefully as an individual, you, like I said, the whole objective is to move you to the website, powerthroughunity.org and boardwalklifeplan.com. So let's get started here. The state of America from a Black, Afro-American, Indigenous American perspective. We are prisoners of war in our own land and under a constant state of war in our education and throughout the criminal justice system. Our communities and families have been destroyed, as well as individuals. We're being used as a profit center. We have Black men and women currently incarcerated for selling marijuana, and the states have legalized dealing and delivery of that same activity. Not only have these sentences been reduced, not only have these sentences not been reduced and are suspended, the lives of these people have been irreparably harmed. Families were split apart and whole communities dismantled, making room for urbanization, downsizing of our communities, called as a result of the war on drugs. Code name, get them niggers. We need free labor. So they are still benefiting from this crime against humanity. They won't fix it. You got people, they mentioned to a governor, hey, since they have legalized this criminal activity, what about addressing these inmates, these prisoners that are in jail now, that are in jail because of the same laws that now are legal? He said, I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about something different. We have to stand up again. We have to be abolitionists against modern day slavery. The war against the indigenous people must stop and be remedied. And Black folks are indigenous, a part of that indigenous group. And that's another for discussion for another day. In order for this to happen, the people must make this happen, so we can truly transform this nation into a nation that retreats all its citizens justly and not jealously. We're facing perilous times as a nation of whose rights are being taken away through fear and government treachery. They can't be trusted. Listen, democracy is not consistent with an autocracy. It's not consistent. Democracy is not consistent with an autocracy. If this was a true democracy, there would not be a tremendous wealth gap, and there would not be rampant poverty and poor living on the street. See, the autocracy doesn't want a democracy because democracy can vote out the disproportionate wealth within the country. They'll pass laws that are fairer and not discriminatory, creating a wealth gap. Americans are now experiencing censorship on Facebook, YouTube. We always knew that, but the America, talking about the freedom of this press and speech and stuff, they censor a lot of stuff. So we need to wake up on that. They're slowly imprisoning us. First it started out with Black folks, now they move it on to other folk. We now have state police arresting the media, with the governor of Minnesota adamantly apologizing as a result of the CNN news crew being arrested, but now for its Black tax-paying citizens being shot down and brutalized on the daily. He doesn't get out and say, oh, I oppose that, or that's against the our value system. They don't do any of that. President, none of that. See? So some uninformed will say, what about Black on Black crime? This crime simply put as a result of racism and white oppression. That's why it exists. The white power structure and Blacks who are callously indifferent and who are part of the swamp that needs to be drained within our own communities, engaging in the dynamics of Black oppression for white favor, just for a paycheck. So they oppress their brothers and sisters because they want a job, right? Let's look at education. It's time for all of us to step up our game. We should take advantage of this opportunity with this pandemic, social unrest, poor schooling, and societal change to take this moment in time to re-examine ourselves and take action as an individual and as a collective. We are definitely in the midst of a paradigm shift. The children are facing homeschooling, which is actually a blessing in disguise, but it requires each of us to step up our game. Parents have to be parents, and that idea of shipping your kids off to school and putting it on somebody else, you need to take charge of your children's education. And even when school starts back in the fall, if it does, it's going to be different. It's probably going to be sometime in school and sometime at home, but you have to engage your child and make sure that they have the attention span to sit down and study. And this starts when they're young. The traditional system is not sustainable. Just as the way our government runs in a constant deficit, this is also not sustainable. This system is racist. It is not preparing the majority to be competitive in life, because we are the majority. People of color are the majority. This is an opportunity to educate both parent and child in the process. There are so many opportunities to educate our children more effectively, but the parent must become a parent and not a friend. Parents must regain their authority and learn how to parent. This will allow your children to grow to another level. Parent and child. They must be taught discipline and what it means to be on time, learn to work hard, and finish what they started. It all starts with chores and making your bed when you get out of it. And I'm saying discipline and structure when they're young. That's why parenting isn't an easy job. Parenting ain't easy. People say, well, they don't give us a handbook. Listen, structure and discipline is the handbook. Being consistent, teaching them. You can't tell a child to go wash the dishes if you don't know how to do it yourself, or you're not taking the time to show them how to do it properly. That's just an example of many things. You don't teach them to wash behind their ears, wash their face, brush their teeth, floss their teeth. You get the message. You need to show your children that you care about their future success. Establish priorities such as reducing your phone bill and purchasing a computer for their study, connection to the internet, and a bookshelf, along with a quiet study area for the whole family. These fancy phones. These kids don't need these fancy phones, and they don't even have a computer at home. Doesn't make sense. These phones distract you. It's killing the brain cell because you're depending on entertainment and other type of things instead of using your brain, like picking up a book and reading it. There's nothing that can replace that. This is your opportunity to begin anew. Your survival should not be dependent on the government. We must become more self-sufficient and become independent thinkers. Your existence should be not be based upon being validated by others who do not like you because they know your potential and are afraid. That's the bottom line. So they keep you oppressed for such a reason. Just know the reason why and just pick up your game. Ready or not, change has come. You must evolve or perish. No mental limits. Enroll in Boardwalk School of Economics. We will address economics, ignorance, poverty, and despair, black-on-black violence, and a revolving door of incarceration. This program is to help us to go to another level. All right, so we can get out of the scene. The brother here is depicted holding his hands up and the police charging in. It's unbelievable. Let's talk about racism, black racism in America. There continues to be racism in America, right? Continuous brutality and oppression by those who took an oath to protect and serve the oligarchy through Jim Crow and Jane Crow policing. I've come across the 4 latest incidents of racism, which has made national news and attention. I'll briefly cover these incidents which reflect racism in America. I'm sick and tired, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Everyone has to come over. I'm sick and tired. And during these events and so, the white folks have stepped up. They finally stepped up and came out in support, and other nationalities as well, not just black folks. Stand everyone now. So now There's national attention on these issues, and we have